I'm Jeff Light, and I'm presenting the American Institute of Architects Master Builders Association Joint Committee White Paper on building envelopes. It was written by a group of contractors and various professionals and can be found at the address at the bottom of the screen, www.AIA-MBA under our Documents tab for building envelopes. Primary purpose of the building envelope white paper is to inform and educate building owners about important decisions, issues, and components related to building envelopes. It was written by contractors and architects, and the development of the building envelope design and composition should be a collaborative process, which is what the AIA-MBA Joint Committee is all about, including owners, contractors, architects, and engineers. It's broken down into 11 sections, and the first section talks about building envelope components, structure, panel, air barrier, insulation, gap, and rain screen. Also talks about how heat transfers through the building envelope and how we can reduce moisture, vapor, and air transfer to eliminate condensation, mold, and the potential for water damage. Section 2 talks about the energy conservation codes. Currently, we're under the International Energy Conservation Code version 2015 in Pennsylvania, and we're in the process of moving to the 2018 version sometime here around the end of the year. Even though the paper doesn't specifically talk about the energy rating systems in detail, it does talk about the individual components and ways of doing things throughout the envelope. Section 3 talks about the integration of heating, ventilation, air conditioning controls with the envelope to maximize energy conservation, with the ultimate goal to reduce energy use by improving the building envelope. The indoor air quality is talked about in section 4, how the envelope can have a significant impact on indoor air quality, as well as keeping the conditioned air in and unconditioned air out. Section 5 talks about thermal barriers and how we need to have continuous insulation around the envelope, as well as section 6, which focuses on air, vapor, and moisture barriers. Traditional weather barriers for keeping bulk moisture out, as well as air barriers, which are either vapor permeable or non-permeable for different strategies in the envelope. Section 7 talks about rain screens, cavity ventilation, and water management to keep water from coming into the building, and how all the systems tie together to force rain that's trying to get in out, as well as allowing for ventilation of the cavities so that you don't build up pressure against the individual weather barriers and other barriers in the system. Section 8 talks about passive house and how an ultra high performance envelope can be developed by the owner, the professionals, the contractors, as well as others in the process, to potentially reduce heating and cooling demand by as much as 75%, improved indoor air quality through the main principles of continuous insulation, eliminating thermal bridging, airtight barrier layers, high performance windows, ventilation with heat recovery. Section 9 talks about quality assurance and quality control in order to have a process from design through construction that identifies and prevents defects from occurring. And if they do occur on the job site, identifies ways of taking care of those defects so that we have continuous air barriers, thermal barriers, and moisture barriers around the envelope. And then the final section talks about commissioning, and the building envelope commissioning process starts during design, but really takes place during construction, where you start to have mock-ups of the various materials and how they come together, as well as having comprehensive meetings through all the people involved, from the manufacturers reps and the contractors, as well as architects and engineers, and having comprehensive record keeping and progress photos of all of the activities as they're taking place. So if there are any issues in the future, when you get to blower door testing, you can start to get a picture of where issues might be, rather than to have to tear down entire sections of the envelope. You can start in a progressive fashion to figure out where the issues might be. If you have any questions, start a discussion with the entire team, from the design team through the construction team with the owner, and please feel free to refer to our building envelope white paper. It's a 17-page document, which can be found on the AIA-MBA Joint Committee website.